Now we are going to talk about the third type of rate, forward rate. So let's try to understand what is forward rate. So far we learned about yield to maturity and spot rate. So in this one, we're going to talk about forward rate. So here's a scenario. Um, Suppose an investor with 1 year investment horizon is considering two alternatives. One is buy 1 year T-bill. Then the second one is buy a 6-month T-bill, and when it mature in 6 months, buy another 6-month T-bill. So basically, the timeline wise, it would be look like this. So you either buy for 1 year or buy for 6 months. Then from there you buy another 6 months. Okay, so we can see that investor would be indifferent on two alternative if produce same yield rate over entire investment period. So that means over 1 year. Okay, so if the price is same, okay, so the yield rate you receive from this investment is same, then you are indifferent. So initially, at time zero, investor know the spot rate on T-bill which mature from 6 months and 1 year. But investor do not know the yield rate on 6-month T-bill from 6 months today. So that unknown yield rate is example of forward rate. So basically, you know the yield rate or the spot rate. You know the spot rate for 1 year bond. Okay, so what kind of rate you should use to discount instrument which mature in 1 year, and then you already also know the spot rate for 6 months. Okay. So the question is, what is this rate? Okay. So this is spot rate for 6 months. I mean, I don't want to use this rate. Okay, so let's say interest rate for 6-month instrument in 6 months. Okay, so you won't be able to know it now. It is in 6 months. Okay, but you can deduct. You can find out that rate if you assume the investor is indifferent between these two options. Okay. So the idea is very simple. Okay, so let's say you have $1 here. Okay, and when you discount it to time zero, let's use the price S01. That is the spot rate from now to 1 year. Okay, so then the present value is what of this $1 is going to be $1 times 1/1 plus S01. Okay. So since it's always start from time zero, you can just say it's S1. Okay. So I can say this is just S1. Okay, and then this is for 1 year. Then if I discount it for this using this unknown rate, so let's write it as forward rate. Okay. Let's use F, then we will actually declare it as forward. So start from 0.5 and it's go to the 1. Okay. So for the second scenario, first you discount $1 under 1 plus F 0.5 to 1. The length of time is 0.5 because it's between these two. Okay, so that would be the value at time 0.5. Then you have to discount it again to the time zero. So you have this one. This is basically present value at time 0.5. Okay, not time zero, time 0.5. In order to get the time zero, you discount it by this rate, which is known. Spot rate for 6 months is 0.5. Okay, so and then it's only for 0.5. So these two equations should be same. If you are indifferent between these two options. So that would give you 1 over 1 plus S1 equal to 1 over 1 plus F is 0.5 to 0.5. So when you simplify this, if you are solving for the forward rate, we call it as forward rate, you would get nice equation look like this. So now instead of this, if I set timeline look like this, 0, T, S, so then I would get this kind of formula. Okay. So then it would become 1 plus F. So this one turn out to be T. This one is to be S. So I get FTS. Then actually 0.5 is the difference between these two. So it's become S minus T. Then here 1 is actually up to S. So it become 1 plus. And then this one is actually T. And this become T. That's what you see in this one. So generalization of that formula. So the rate you found is called as forward rate. So this is called as forward rate. Okay. So you can see that there's two components. Okay, so one is T. So this is can be in 6 months. Okay, so then the difference S minus T. So you will see the word like this: forward rate in 1 year for 6 months. So 1 year mean what? 1 year is T. 6 months is basically S minus T. So the calculation of what we did here is called the implied forward rate. Okay, so using the spot curve, we can calculate the implied forward rate. So as you know that spot rate is depend on the day and then the product. Okay, so zero coupon bond, yes, but what kind of zero coupon bond? Is it government? Is it municipal? And also country and so many other things. So because of that, the forward curve also going to be different. Depend on the instrument you use, what kind of bonds, and so forth. So forward curve is the graph of forward rates for intervals of a given length. In other words, one fix the length W of the term and graph values. So basically you have forward curve look like this. So let's say this is 6 month forward curve. So that means basically you fix the difference S minus T as 6. Okay. So then, but you change the T. Okay. So from 1 year now, right now, 6 month forward curve, that's actually a spot rate. Okay. So this can be S naught 0.5. Then in 1 year, what is the forward rate for 6 months? So what this mean? So let's say this is F actually 1.5. Okay. So this is basically from 1 year now, 6 month forward rate. Implied by today rates, okay? You need to remember that implied by today's spot rate. Then you can have something like this 10. So what that mean? From 10 year now, what is 6 month forward rate? Because you fix 6 months, okay? You fix the S minus T or the width. Then you are changing T. So T is the variable. So just remember how the forward curve is constructed. So you can have forward curve for 1 year, 2 year, 4 weeks, so forth. Okay. So this side is basically how the from now, after how long we are talking about. So let's go to example and see how to use forward rate. So this one says compute 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year forward rate 1 year from now. Okay, so basically I'm calculating F11, I mean F12. Then the other one is F1 and 2 years, so 1 plus 2, that's 3. And the other one is for 1 year from now, but 3 year forward rate. So F1, 4. So these are the rates I want to calculate. So how do we calculate this? I use the formula F12 2 minus 1 equal 1 plus S naught 2 divide by 1 plus S naught 1. S is basically spot rate. So this one I said I would get F forward rate for 1 year from 1 year now. So this becomes spot rate for 2 year is basically 4%. Spot rate for 1 year current rate is 3%. And then I would get from here I can solve. So that would give me 1.04 square divided by 1.03. So that give me almost 5%. 0.05. Okay, I can do the same with these two rates too. Let's do the part B. Come with the 1 year and 2 year forward rate 2 year from now. So that means I'm calculating in here. I'm calculating F starting from 2 year now. For 1 year, that's 2, 3. Then the other one is 2 year from now, but 2 year forward. So 2 and 4. So let's do one of them. Let's do the this one. Okay, so let's do one. So that would give me S naught. Okay, so 4 is basically 7%. For 2, its spot rate is 4%. And then this side also you have 2. So let's first calculate this quantity and then take the square root to get the forward rate for 2 year from 2 year now. So 7 to the 4. So this give me 1.21190. And then that would give us give me 0.5 or 10%. So you can do the same with the other one too. 1 year forward rate 3 year from now. So basically you're calculating 3, 4. Okay. 1 year forward, but 3 year from now. So the difference between these two should be 1, should be start from 3 year now. Okay, so here's a question. You are given the following term structure of spot interest rate. Term in years 1, 2, 3, 4. Interest rate 5, 5.75, 6.25, 6.5. A 3-year annuity immediate will be issued at a year from now with annual payment of 5,000. Use the forward rate, calculate the present value of this annuity a year from now. A 3-year annuity immediate will be issued a year from now with annual payment of 5,000. Okay, so 0, 1, 2. Okay, so we want to calculate the present value of this annuity year from now. So present value is here. And the payments, this annuity median, 5,000. So this is actually today. So we want to actually discount not to time 0, but time to 1. So the question is, what rate will be available at that time from 1 to 2? So the present value, the price would be what? 5,000. 1 plus, this would be forward rate between 1 and 2. Um, mm, calculate the present value of this annuity year from now. Yeah, so you can use that one, and then for the next one, you need to know the 1 plus F13. And then for the next one, you need to know the 1 plus 1, 4. So basically now the question is, what are these rates? So F12 is going to be 1 plus S naught 2 divided by 1 plus S naught 1 and 1 plus. So you really don't have to solve for, you can just substitute it here. Then the other one, this entire thing is equal 1 plus S naught 3. So you don't have to solve it, you can just substitute it here, this value. And then the third one is this should be 1. Okay, so again, you don't have to solve this one, just substitute this value here. Okay, so this entire thing is equivalent. For example, let me calculate this quantity. What would be that? S naught 2, that is 5.75, so 1.0575 divide. Here it should be square. And this one is 1. So this one being this one is going to be equal, this quantity equal to 1.06505, and let's calculate the next second one. That is 3 years, so 1.0625. Actually, you can see 1 plus S naught 1 is common factor, so you can make this easily. You can make this easy if you want. So this become 1.142345, and then the other one also you can see 5,000 is common factor. All of this you can use if you are clever enough. When I'm solving, I realize these things. So this one is 1.2212. So now you can we can solve that problem. So (1.12) divided by 1.22. So the value would be price is 13,152.5048. So here's another exam question. Using the given table, find the current price of 1,000 3-year bond with coupon rate 6 payable annual. So that is basically spot rate. Current price of 1,003. So you can see the coupon would be 60, 60, 10, 60. And the price basically you divide each term by spot rate. So 60 divided by 1.07, 60 divided by 1.08 square plus 1060 divided by 1.09 to the 3. That would be the price. And then you equal it to the, so once you have the price, yield rate. Yield rate is basically you use the same one fixed rate. So 60 divided by 1 plus I plus 60 divided. I think we did this problem. So I'm going to leave these two problems for you. And try to solve it. And then see whether you can get the answer. So now we learn three types of rates: forward, spot, and yield to maturity. So what's the difference? Take a minute and see whether you can explain it yourself, and the next slide actually give you the answer. Okay. So before you go to next slide, just pause this video and then see whether you can answer it. So here is the difference. Yield to maturity is the rate of return when a bond makes all future coupon payments and repays the original principal given the purchase price. Okay, so basically you equal price to the present value of all future cash flows, and that rate is called the yield to maturity. The spot rate is the yield to maturity on a zero coupon bond. Forward rate indicates the market expectation on interest rate on loan beginning at some time in future. Forward rate is calculated using today's spot rate. So it's depend on that day. So here more detailed explanation. Suppose today is March 1st and today's spot rate on zero coupon bond which mature in 3 months and 6 months are 7%, 8%. Then the implied 3-month forward rate in 3 months can be calculated using this one. But this is implied rate based on today's spot rate. On June 1st, okay, so today is March 1st. After 3 months, on June 1st, after actually passing 3 months from March 1st, the real 3-month spot rate on that day may be very different from what we calculated in above. Okay. So this is actually implied forward rate for today. If I'm standing here, based on today market, that's what I expect on June 1st. But once I go to June 1st, what I see for next 3 months may be very different from what I calculate today. Okay, so just make sure that you understand the concept. So all we can say as of March 1, based on today spot rate, implied 3-month forward rate from 3 months of today is 9%. This should be taken into account when doing transaction on March 1st. Okay. So if you have financial instruments which need that rate, then yes, you use that one. But when you go to the next day, March 2, you recalculate all those rates because now the market is changed from yesterday to today, so you have different types of rates. So term structure of interest rate. So this is going to be a very short section. So I'm going to continue. So under this one, let's first define the term structure. Generally, the relationship between the terms of securities and their yield rates are known as the term structure of interest rate. So basically, term of security, like whether it's 6 months, whether it's 1 year, whether it's 2 year, whether it's 10 year, and that term and the yield. That's called the term structure of interest rate. So more specifically, we can define the term structure of interest rate as the relationship between the yield to maturity on a zero coupon bond and the bond maturity. The graph representing this relationship is called as yield curve. So remember that you can actually calculate yield on the coupon bonds. So to be careful, we can, that's why I mentioned here, you can actually change the definition if you want, but for our purpose, we define it as yield to maturity on zero coupon bond and the bond maturity. So basically, this side you have maturity, this side you have yield, and calculated using zero coupon bond. So it's basically a spot curve, okay? The terms, but you can actually change it if you want. You can use coupon bond if you want. The term structure of interest rate at the current point in time is a set of yield rates on zero coupon bonds of all maturities. This is a set. So the S0 we use the spot rate. This is time to maturity. And then S0 is the annual effective yield rate at time zero for zero coupon bond maturing at time T. In other words, spot rate. So when we speak term structure of interest rate, it depends on the bond type and the day we calculate yield rate. So it depends on when we calculate these spot rates. Is it yesterday, today? Okay, and what kind of bonds? Government, municipal, corporate, what kind of bonds? Which country? Okay, so many things. So for example, the term structure of interest rate for the US Treasury bond may differ from term structure of interest rate for municipal bond. It will also change from day to day. So here you can see another forward rate example from an exam FA. You can see how simple this question. The price of zero coupon bonds are this one. Calculate the 1 year forward rate deferred 2 years. So basically, it's asking deferred 2 year from their 1 year. I mean, the 1. So you can see that's going to be spot curve for spot rate for 3 year and the spot rate for 2 year. So so you can see right here we have price, not rate. So how you get the spot rate and the price for 3 years 0 coupon bond? So 0.898589 to equal what? You take $1 and you discount it. So $1 divided by 1 plus 3 years spot rate. So basically this tell me 1 plus 1 divided by 0.85892. So the top one would be 1 divided by 0.85892. The similar logic, and the second one would be 1 divided by 0.90703. So that would give me 0.90703 divided by 0.85892. And that would be the forward rate for 1 year, 2 year from now. So let's get the answer. That will mean forward rate as 5.60122%. Okay, so that's I will leave this problem for you to try. That is the end of this section.